There was rumors that there was stories in the works on this. Were you surprised at all, either by the timing of it or what was presented in the ProPublica and the BBC reports?
We had heard the rumors about it. I think so I don't think that we were surprised. I mean, obviously we didn't know anything about the story or the allegations.
Yeah.
But, so I think that was the surprise, was to, when those articles came out, was to see the allegations and see who brought forward the allegations.
Because you didn't think those people would say those things, or?
Well, because those things are false.
Yeah, right.
Number one.
Yeah,
I mean, I think because they were just so outrageous
and baseless.
allegations and baseless. And for both of us, one of the hardest things has been to wrap our brains around what would motivate people to be
make those
allegations based on nothing.
It's been very hard to answer questions from people about the allegations, knowing, when you know the truth,
yeah,
it makes it easy to say it's just not true.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're saying these things. But really amazed at how they have no proof.
Yeah.
There was no foundation for any of them. There was a lot of innuendo.
It was hard the last 3 weeks, and no doubt it's hard to see people make false allegations about your child, and and Alberto's, he's like a family member to us, so that's been really hard to just hear it and know people are saying untrue things, but likewise, I mean, we just have comfort in the truth.
I feel like the truth is out there now with Alberto's letter and his statement, and it'll be interesting to see the responses.
You guys are both medical professionals. Did anything in the portrait of Alberto sort of force-feeding Galen all this bad stuff sort of
well, I mean,
get to you? Or?
It's outrageous. I mean, some of the things that they were saying that Alberto was giving our child, I mean, first of all, I mean, we're very involved parents. I mean, we have a very close relationship with Galen, especially when he was a child. I mean, in high school and living with us. I mean, we looked at everything he was taking, any of the supplements and vitamins or whatever he was taking. And Alberto did too. Yeah, it was just, I mean, there was, even when Galen was in high school, Alberto was so careful. I mean, I remember, seriously, one time Galen he was sick, and he gets sick a lot, and he was sick, and he had a really bad cold, and he couldn't sleep, and so I was making him some Theraflu, like, just give it, anybody in my family, just over-the-counter cold medicine, and I remember I was on the phone with Alberto, and the kettle went off. We had a whistling kettle, and I was like, "Hold on, Alberto, I'm making Theraflu," and he's like, "What are you doing? You can't give him anything until unless just to be sure, because sometimes anything over the counter." So when I think about how careful we were,
and how careful Alberto is, he has always been involved with all of his. Well, I know with Galen, that's all I really know. But he's been very involved in what goes into Galen's body, how it's could potentially be construed or misconstrued, and has always erred on the side of being safe. I couldn't have picked a better role model for Galen to be involved with.
Why do you say that?
Well, he's just Alberto's a good person. He is Galen's, he's a devout Catholic, as Galen is. He's Galen's sponsor when he was confirmed. They have a relationship that's a very, very tight bond. And I think that's what people allude to when they talk about his aloofness, Alberto's aloofness with the other athletes as compared to Galen. He has a very special relationship with Galen.
What kind of toll do you think this has taken on Galen?
I have been so amazingly proud of my son and how he has handled this. He's probably better than us in the fact that he's just able to, he knows the truth, and he just put his head down and focused on what he does, and has training's been going well, and he's just looking forward to, getting into the track season. And I think, I know for a fact that, Galen doesn't read anything, or leads a pretty isolated, quiet life.
But what's always amazed me about Galen is how he handles pressure. The bigger the pressure race, the more he focuses, and the more he almost thrives on that pressure. And this has been a lot of pressure for him.
Yeah.
And it's hard for him not to speak out, but he knows the truth, and he made his statement, and he doesn't feel like he needed to say anymore.
Initially, when the story broke, Galen was in Park City, and we ended up picking him up from the airport when he flew back to Portland. And I was impressed with how great he seemed, and he just basically said, you know what, he said, it's going to be okay, we know the truth. And he said, it'll be okay, we know the truth. And honestly, that's our conversation with him. That's really been it.
Well, he told us initially that the story was going to break when he and Alberto knew, and were asked for comments by ProPublica and BBC. And then it broke, and I was angry. I really was angry. Didn't know who I was angry with specifically more, and Galen told me, he says, Dad, calm down. Don't give him that energy.
Yeah.
You can't, you know the truth. Why let them get you mad? And he was right. Anger doesn't hurt anybody but yourself.